So, Matthew, I want to start by how you feeling, bud?
Much better.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm not going to show my road rash on screen because that'd be kind of gross. On the mend, though.
I get that.
Obviously wasn't seriously hurt, just like banged up, real big time. So, that was a good time.
Good time.
Yeah.
Big slams like that. It always feels like you got hit by a truck afterwards. It feels like.
Yeah. I hadn't knocked the wind out of myself in a very long time, so I was just like, I'm just gonna die, and this has been it. Okay. So, but it happens. I guess racing deal. I don't know if I came over to him or he came over to me. Whatever. We just got tangled up, and I died, and then.
It's not your fault.
I haven't even.
I'm blaming them.
I haven't even talked about. So, if you want to get points, you have to run both motos, and that was moto number 1.
Oh no.
And so when I crashed, I bent the hell out of my brake lever, so my brakes were just on full lock. So if you ever used U brakes before, you can just unhook them at the very back. And so I just did that so I could roll back to camp. And so like an hour it's probably about 45 minutes passes, and then I'm like, I gotta go roll my next moto. I was like, I'm not even gonna push, I'm just gonna take 7th place and go home, like whatever. And so I'm like, whatever, my brakes aren't working, so I'm not gonna push. I'm gonna intentionally not wear my gloves, because if I do wear them, then I'm gonna get 2 in my head and I'll be like, no, I can totally go for this. And I'm like, no, I just need to take my points and go home. And then I'm about halfway up to the starting hill, and then I realize they're not going to let me on the track with no brakes. And I can't hook them back up because they're full lock, and I don't have time to go get tools to fix them. So I just had to sit there at the bottom of the starting hill and just punch the hell out of my brake lever to bend it back into shape, and then hooked it back up. And then I got up there like 5 gates before my moto, so I barely made it. And then even still then, when I was up there waiting, I was like, okay, but I could go. I feel pretty good right now. I was like, no, you're not going. I was like, I already told everybody in my class I'm not racing. I'm just going to cruise, go without me. But I did have to, like, after just rolling the first half lap, I went full speed the second half, and I even jumped something. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go home and die now. So, but that was fun. I went out and rode for the first time on Thursday. I was going to race Saturday, but I wasn't feeling too hot. So, but I'm planning on racing this week again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey,
So.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I haven't slammed that hard in a very long time.
It's always a little wake-up call, too.
Yeah.
But
I got to stop wrecking at all my big races. So, yeah.
Tell you what, Joe, I don't really actually have anything for a cold open.
Well, that was kind of the cold open. I wanted to. Matthew is
you're in
here.
luck if
He
you
is
wanna steal
okay.
it again.
I'm back by unpopular demand.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. We
No,
are.
I'm still waiting for your broadcast appearance.
I know.
One of these days.
I'm still waiting for
Maverick Night in America. Matthew Steelman on the call, maybe.
Getting stoked in Maverick.
Getting.
Yeah, Joey really boiled this flow there. That was
Need to.
That's what I need. I need
it.
Like, I need that so bad.
That would be so good during those too. Like
Yeah.
those little Matthewisms we could call
Yeah.
them. We could have a whole segment dedicated to it. Like we got Rickyisms.
Can you
already.
change all the JTN broadcast music to just
Ska?
Instrumental ska?
Yeah, we could try. I'm sure we
Yeah,
could.
we actually got Real Big Fish to record us a theme. It was not very expensive.
That's ridiculous.
For our audio listeners,
Oh my god.
nothing is new this week for you. You're on your audio platform. You listen to the Fake Racers podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, if that still exists, whatever. For our video watchers who turned out in force last week, so thank you for that.
Very appreciative.
I'm gonna pat myself on the back for the thumbnail because good thumbnail, and very catchy title, mid at best. Can't put the title that I want to make this week.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good one to listen to.
You're now watching on Track and Turf. Track and Turf is our new... It's JTN2. It is JTN2. It's the same channel. If you were subscribed to it before, you're subscribed to it now. But
Also, I just noticed this while looking for it on YouTube when it lists all your subscriptions. It still has it listed under the J section, but it's track and turf. So it's
So
right
you-
after Jay.
Platform wrong.
If you follow Jay Schlatt, it's right after him in your subscriptions. So,
Great platform, fellas.
yeah.
It's a
So,
great one.
but track and turf, Davey made an excellent video explaining kind of what we're going to do, so I'll give you the synopsis. We want to do more non-motorsports content, but also want to give you the same motorsports content that you've been getting here. So track and turf is going to allow us to do that. Video essays, more podcasts. Of course, Oof Sides will be back in the fall. Disqualified, hopefully, when the time lends itself to do so.
I've been doing some research recently, so
Listen, there's a lot of Rabid fans out there that I'm sure are going to be so upset that JTN2 is gone, but you
I
got to
know.
remember, it's because we're not really giving you any more of what JTN does. So, JTN proper can be JTN proper, track and turf can be a little something different.
Now, I'll tell you what, JTN2 has been sitting at 222 subscribers for a long time, so if we could please get a 223rd subscriber, so that way twos are not going wild on that channel, that would be great. So again, head on over to Track and Turf, Track and Turf, right? Believe.
Yep, track and turf on YouTube, or just search track ampersand turf.
And you'll find it there. And yeah, you'll see Davey's smiling face right when you go to the YouTube page in the intro video for the channel. Although I did make sure to make a thumbnail for it instead of just showing a random still from the video in the name of professionalism.
Right.
One more note too before we start. Mentioned it, Maverick Night in America. It's back, 2024. Tune in tomorrow as we're recording this, March 19th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, over on JTN for the start of the Maverick Cup Series season. Winner's getting a trophy, $100 to whoever wins the race. Prizes for second and third as well. One of the larger paying races that we've ever broadcast. So we encourage you to make sure you tune in tomorrow or today. Well, I guess today if you're listening to this, or go back and watch the replay over on JTN. So yeah, go follow JoTo Network. Anyways, enough self-indulgence. I'm Joe. Davey is to my left if you're watching. Matthew down below,
That's me.
whose coconut is intact, thankfully. And we're back for another episode of the Fake Racers podcast. As always, can't thank you enough for watching. Make sure if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on your podcast platforms. Let's just get into it because there were some hot laps over the weekend, but they were pretty slow. Denny Hamlin, of course, won the what I am naming the Bristol Endurance Race because, my goodness, that was a throwback of a race. We're going to talk about everything else here, but just start. Denny Hamlin wins, and the top three: Hamlin, Truex, Keselowski, three oldest drivers in the field.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? You saw a lot of experience making its way to the front. Drivers who's done a lot of short track racing in that style. You heard even Alex Bowman was talking about how it kind of was throwback to the K&N days of running on minimal sets of tires, running all the way to the end and during a longer race. Of course, they didn't start the race knowing that.
yeah.
They didn't start the race with that expectation, but as the race kind of progressed, you started to see those names kind of get up there. And, some of the guys that were showing speed that were kind of surprising, like Ty Gibbs, they did end up falling off. Like, it kind of worked out more or less how you thought it would. But I mean, once again, just to push the point through, what a turn of events from the start of that race. Like, not many people, like, some of the crew chiefs probably had an idea that the race was going to be like that. I don't think they had any idea it was going to be that drastic. Because I didn't really hear too much chatter about it before the race.
That's what I was wondering about. Was it like the resin that they put down that caused that, or was it just nobody ran enough laps in practice?
No one knows.
No one knows.
That's bizarre.
There's a lot of theories out there that Goodyear brought a new tire, which they say they didn't. Something changed with the tires, which, again, they say it didn't. The resin was different. It's also the coldest it's been on a concrete race there with the next-gen car, so there's something
That's
to that with
very
it being
true.
cooler.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two variables that changed, right? Because
Yep.
it's the same package. So I think they're going to look at that this week and try to figure out. At the end of the day, though, it was a good race, right? It was entertaining, comers and goers, even if it,
Oh yeah.
you can make the argument that it I don't like the word artificial always comes to mind, but it definitely wasn't a comers and goers based off of pure car. It was definitely about the driver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was very much like what each driver could do behind the wheel to save their stuff, and it just goes right back to the top 3 that you mentioned. It was the oldest drivers in the field. It just goes right back to the experience one.
Mm-hmm.
Not very surprising in the grand scheme of things for what was a very surprising race.
Well, and the speed of and the durability of the Toyotas, right? I mean, at one point,
Oh
Joe
my
Gibbs
God.
Racing was 1, 2, 3, 4. John Hunter was up inside the top 10 most of the race. Bubba Wallace, Eric Jones made appearances up there. Tyler Reddick had his misfortune early on in the event. The only guy that... No, that's all of them, isn't it? That's all the Toyotas. So, yeah. I don't know. Toyotas look pretty good on these smaller tracks for the year.
Toyotas look pretty good in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say the only guy who seemed like he was having fun was Josh Berry, and he had some good quotes throughout the day.
He did.
That were, it's like, unfortunately his finishing position
11th.
doesn't really, it doesn't really reflect like how fast he was.
Pretty good for SHR, isn't it?
Still a great run, but like
I bet on him, but
I cashed out. Davey.
I don't think Hard Rock doesn't let. Do you use Hard Rock or do you use
No.
Yeah, Hard Rock is the only thing I have. It doesn't let you cash out.
Did you do top 10 or win?
Top 10?
Oh no, I did race win. I cashed out. That thing was at plus 13,000 before the race for some reason. I'm like, all right, we'll throw $1 on that. Tripled my money. $3.
I don't want to go too far into the NASCAR betting, but I did look before the race I did look at 10 lap averages before the race and saw Justin Haley was 5th, and so I stuck $1 on him to get a top 10, and it was good until the last 40 laps.
I was gonna say, Justin Haley and Josh Berry were 2 of the main characters of this race. Justin Haley ran 12th on pace all friggin' day.
He was well inside the top 10 before that last stop.
Yeah.
He was 6th or something.
It was. I remember he slowed too, right when that stop happened, and it that just overcooked it. Yeah, he had a good day. The other main character was definitely Kyle Busch, though. He had a very interesting day.
Yeah.
Kyle, but I think I would go as far as say that's Kyle Busch's worst Bristol race he's ever had.
Yeah, I think
for
so.
someone who is a absolute just a menace at Bristol for good reasons, he was a menace for the wrong reasons this weekend.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, one more note. You mentioned Justin Haley. Kaz Gralla was also up inside the top 15 for a lot of the race. Also want to mention RFK. They were strong last week, strong this week. Rick Ware Racing, of course, has that tighter alliance with RFK this year. So that will be something to watch at Richmond and Martinsville, in my opinion, because I know, again, different package, but still similar track lengths, where you kind of put the emphasis in the aero and whatnot. But it's kind of to watch. But you talk about Kyle Busch having a terrible day. He walked right out of the track after the race. Didn't say a word. William Byron did the same.
I was going to say, Zane Smith had the no good, very bad, terrible day as well.
Zane Smith is below Ryan Preece in points. And Noah Gragson. Ryan Preece and Noah Gragson have had 75-point penalties.
And I mean,
what was Zane Smith doing in that wreck?
Not using his brakes, that's for sure.
Or brain.
He definitely when I rewatched it, I was like, he definitely just committed, because he was like, they're crashing, I'm going low, I'm getting by it, and then it was like, oh, okay, never mind. Well,
no, there's Tyler Reddick.
Yeah.
It's like he accepted halfway through him moving down. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be in this wreck.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's 2 weeks in a row, or no, 2 of the last 3 weeks he's junked it early, and it's like, well, you're gonna have a real fun day.
And the thing with Zane is, it's like, I mean, if Hocevar and LaJoie were just putzing around back in 30th, you'd be like, oh man, it's just Spire doesn't know what they're doing. But both of those guys have had flashes in the pan here to start the year, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, people are wondering, I'm not people, but people are wondering.
Yeah,
what's going on there.
I'm not smashing the panic button just yet, because it's early and he's a rookie, but it's a pretty bad start. So
yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Do you want? I just want to read my next headline.
Yeah.
here on the sheet because it's a great headline, and it's targeted at one driver in particular. I'm sure you guys know who it is, but bitch made drivers. Let me tell you. My producer over here, he's barking at the door for some reason. Do you know who I'm talking about, real quick?
Kyle Larson.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
Yeah, baby.
Kyle Larson, not even 20 laps into the race, and Cliff Daniels were asking NASCAR to red flag the event and put PJ1 down because they were struggling. And everyone was struggling. I thought Kyle Larson was the best race car driver in the world. Maybe he's not if he can't deal with a little bit of tire wear. I'd like your guys' comments. There we go.
I think it's a bit. I mean, it's very Hendrick driver coded of him to do that.
Yeah.
Well, because it mirror and obviously Chase had a pretty favorable opinion of this. I think mostly because I think he finished pretty well. It goes back to the Chase Elliott comments about how he complained about the next gen and like in the year of its incept, like the year it became the car for the Cup Series, and how like it's this, and now all the good teams can't be good anymore. Like essentially that's what he said. He's like the good teams are so close to the bad teams that no one can pass each other anymore, and he's basically just saying like I can't pass the 77 car anymore because I have a faster car and now I have to work for it.
Yeah.
And it was very much akin to those comments where Kyle Larson and Cliff Daniels, which I'm disappointed by that. They're both just like, these conditions aren't perfectly acceptable for what I need to do to be fast, so we need to change them immediately. And I just don't get it. I was joking with friend of the show, Noah Joyce, about this like during the race, and we've joked about this a few times, but how like the NASCAR driver's favorite thing to say is how NASCAR put them in a box, and it's like you just know that they're going to say it about this, and it's like NASCAR put us in a box. Everyone else is saving tires, but we don't want to save tires, so why can't we change this?
It reminds me exactly what happened in Stage 2 of the Daytona 500 this year, where everybody saved fuel. And they're all complaining about it. It was like, then go full speed. Like you're the person that's making you do that.
Remember when I complained?
Yeah, so dumb.
Remember when Cliff Daniels was telling Kyle Larson that they were good to go on fuel, and then everyone had to pit anyways?
Yeah.
Remember that from the Daytona 500?
Yeah.
So I'm starting to get to the point where like Cliff Daniels is an amazing crew chief, and this isn't a knock on him, and it's not a knock on Larson because again, part of your job when you're the crew chief, part of your job is to like. Yeah, driver, you're right. We should red flag this race. So I don't know what's actually going through his head.
No, I get that. That makes sense.
Because there's the coach aspect, and also there's the competitor aspect where, Kyle Larson, I get what he's saying. It wasn't great. But when everyone else has to deal with the same exact thing, you can't complain. That's how I've always looked at it, right? Does it suck for these drivers? Yeah, sure. Did NASCAR put them in a box? I don't know. Go fast. Who cares? At one point, Ty Gibbs was like 2 seconds faster than the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just. I mean, look at that last cycle where Hamlin and Truex lapped all the way up to 10th.
Yeah.
Before the pit stops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It just drives me crazy.
Yeah, and it's one thing if it's like middle of the race, heat of the moment, but the fact that it like carried over into post race and like Larson was still complaining about it, and it was like, dude. You literally scored. I
never want to do that again.
You literally finished top 5. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
He's like, I hope I never have to do it again. It's like, what do you like?
What, you don't want to save tires? I thought you wanted to put in the driver's hands, Kyle.
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
Weren't you one of the guys?
I don't get that.
Like, I get why he's saying it because he's probably one of the best in the world at running qualifying laps every lap, but. I don't think every single next-gen race should be like that. I don't think every next-gen race should be tire saving like we saw it at Bristol, but there should be variation.
Yeah.
If Bristol's going to be a race like this, I would love it. Like I would love this to be a Bristol thing, a Richmond thing, maybe even a Martinsville thing. I don't expect it in Martinsville because they'll be going pretty slower, but like other tracks that are shorter and faster, but like
Dover.
Maybe. Not to the Dover was my next thing. Not to the extent that we saw at Bristol because it's way faster and a little more dangerous, but same thing. But to basically insist that every track needs to be the same so it can fit your driving style, and like say that with a straight face.
Yeah.
And like it's not like he like disguised it well. It was like, oh, I thought it was like he basically just straight up said like, yeah, I don't like how that drove because I wasn't good at it and it's not what I want, and so we need to change it for everybody. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I just don't. It like, as much as I say, yeah, it's a Hendrick driver thing, it was almost kind of uncharacteristic from Kyle Larson specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really weird.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
definition weird.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys, Matt, you hinted at it, but Josh Berry had some really fun comments after the race.
During the race too, where he had the quote where he was like, "Nobody's gonna bitch about aero push now."
So again, tire wear. Hey, we've been talking about it for a long time. Tire wear is good, and Goodyear needs to figure out a good way to do it. I don't think what we saw this weekend is going to end up being repeatable, but hopefully it is, you know?
But I still think they shouldn't change the compound or the resin that they brought, because the teams are going to find a way to make it better anyway.
Exactly.
They will extend the life of these tires
Yep.
without relinquishing any pace by probably about 20 to 25, 30 laps, you know? So keep it the same and let the teams work it out.
Well, they can't switch from the resin because they need the resin because it's a wet weather track now. That's why they couldn't use the PJ1, because the PJ1 ice is over in the rain.
What a terrible thing.
Which is good, because that means hopefully they don't use PJ1 anymore, because
Yeah.
resin has been better, right?
It has been.
They've used resin at... Did they use resin at Nashville?
I think
I
so.
feel like they
Yeah.
did. I'm pretty sure they used resin. Like anywhere that the racing has been good, they've used resin. I think they use it at MIS maybe for the upper groove. I hope they stop doing that, because that would be great. If the racetrack sucks, the racetrack sucks. Just let it be bad.
I still get a kick out of our comments, like talking about Texas, how like a billion years into the future, it's going to be a
PJ1's
scorched
so
fireball.
good.
There's going to be a ring of PJ1 where Texas Motor Speedway was.
Yeah, we just can't get rid
Poor
of it. I don't know
IndyCar.
what's up with it. Yeah.
Poor IndyCar, man.
I want to give a special shout out to how immediately wrong I was proven when Bowman's crew left him out for so goddamn long on that second to last stint, and I was like, "What are they doing?" And then Alex Bowman just literally just plowed through the field from like 19th to 4th in the final stretch, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm wrong."
I wanted to fight the 43 crews so bad, because Eric drove all the way up to 5th, and then the tires died, and they're like, "Oh, just stay out there another 15 laps." It's okay.
Yeah, there was definitely like a threshold that you had to hit, and Bowman's team, they ended up hitting it like almost kind of perfectly.
Yeah.
But there were some guys who stayed out for so long, and all they did was lose a ton of time. And it was infuriating watching these guys that were like almost on flats limp around, just losing like
Just
a lap
waiting
on
for a
pace.
caution.
Yeah.
Just waiting for a caution. That's all it was.
It was funny too, because I can't remember who all he was running around, but I was like, they are so screwed here. And then all of a sudden I was like, why is Alex Bowman 4th? What is happening?
What are you doing,
Yeah.
sir?
It was so weird.
One last thing. It wasn't prevalent last week. No, maybe it was. But Blaney kind of masked it. I don't know what's wrong with Penske. It still feels like something's wrong there. They didn't finish this race very well, right?
We thought this last season.
Yeah.
We did. And the year before. But
Yep.
here's the thing. This one feels weird, you know?
Why? They've all felt weird.
This one just feels different. Don't tell me Austin Cindric's going to win the championship this year. That's all I'm saying. Could you imagine?
You said it, not me.
I'm going to put some money on that. Guy that you might actually want to put money on to win a championship, Christian Eckes.
Dude.
Did a fantastic job Saturday night. Held off a charging Kyle Busch. Probably the only happiness Kyle Busch has had behind the wheel of a race car so far this year. Besides maybe the Atlanta truck win.
I didn't watch the truck race.
Okay.
I apologize.
Well,
I've
pretty good.
I was gonna say I followed the highlights of it. I was busy, unfortunately. But Christian Eggers is a dog, dude. I mean, he beat Kyle Busch at Bristol in the Truck Series, and then who is it who beat at Darlington last year? I think it was Byron at Darlington is who he beat, or he beat Byron somewhere at somewhere that he dominates, and it was like, yeah, this guy might be for real.
So. Yeah, remember when Toyota gave up on him?
Yeah.
And then he was splitting time with Grant Enfinger in the 98 truck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got the 98 truck full time, I think. Maybe. Or, I don't know.
Give your drivers time to develop, and this is what happens. So.
But don't worry, he's racing for McAnally, so he'll probably not get a shot anywhere else.
Yeah, more than likely.
Whoa.
That's how it works. But hey, there's nothing wrong with being a Truck Series driver. I continue to say that, and I will keep saying that. Unless you're like a little shit, like some of those guys. Then there is something wrong with being a Truck Series driver.
Dude. I mostly like the guy, but Nick Sanchez had like an ultimate punchable face moment this week too. So that was a good time.
What were they even mad at? What was Stuart Friesen even mad at?
So
Friesen,
I saw a lot of people blaming Friesen. I think it's 50-50. Like Friesen cleared himself, but it was very much a if gap car, like Nick Sanchez trying to lunge and get to the outside of him while Friesen's already exiting the corner, and they just came together and hit the wall. And then Friesen tried to fight him, and Nick Sanchez just had that giant, like, shit-eating grin on his face. And I was like, dude, you already got rocked by Matt Crafton last year. Like, and I was on your side there, but I was like, come on.
You're losing me.
It's not even that. It's just like, you're asking for it then. If a guy's yelling at you and you're just, like, smiling at him, like, you're going to get rocked if you do that.
Oh, yeah. It's like permission almost.
Yeah. So I have no strong opinions on what happened on track, but like that was just the thing where it was like you're pissing off all the veterans, which again in the Truck Series not a hard thing to do, but yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of old and crotchety, huh?
Yeah. It's not like Matt Crafton and Stuart Friesen have like perfect records also, so they've been that guy before.
Did we ever figure out, does Matt Crafton just live in a random, like, shed that he built from Menards at Thorsport? Have we ever figured that out?
Just camped out in Thorsport, yeah.
Save big money at Menards. I went there over the weekend. From the shop.
Oh, God, sorry, I didn't have my soundboard up. Hang on.
That's okay. Wait, hold on. Give me a wink when you're ready. I'm not cutting this out either. This is perfect.
Okay.
From the shop.
We're doing it on the fly.
Let's start. I got these in reverse order. Kyle Busch keeps getting a new pit crew every week. Why? RCR is in shambles. Who knows what's going on?
RCR is in shambles.
The vibes are continuing.
First of all, that pit crew is terrible. The pit crew is terrible. Everything they do to that pit crew is terrible. They haven't had a good pit crew like combination all year. Kyle Busch is obviously pissed off.
They're like moving tire carriers and jackmen around in filters. Like, just, you know how Fox has been playing the little clips of like the pit crews? They're going to play one week and they're going to be like, yeah, no, actually yesterday they switched guys. There's different guys now, the right front tire changer.
They're just freestyling, just going off vibes.
They're just waiting for Austin Dillon to be their boss.
You're going to change the right front tire. I'm going to change the left front tire.
It's gonna be RC going over the box.
Somehow the pit stop would be quicker.
Like how you feel, Joe? How you feel about Penske that you brought up earlier? That's how I feel about RCR.
Oh, RCR is exponentially worse. I know.
This feels like uncharacteristically bad. Like last year is like glimmer of hope.
Did Kyle Busch
hopeless
going over there mask some of the faults? Because it felt like the second half of the year they fell off the map.
I don't think it masked it. I think, every kind of relationship or group, you kind of see this a lot in all sorts of sports where, like, you kind of get that honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Honeymoon phase ended late last year for them, and it's not been a good relationship.
Now they're dealing
since.
with Rowdy.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame Kyle Busch for being
No, I
frustrated.
don't
The team
either.
is a mess.
No. Yeah, Austin Hill in the 3-car next year is going to be weird, though. Austin Dillon's getting involved in accidents every week. Like, nature's healing very slowly.
Yeah.
But it's healing. I'm kidding. I don't want to see anyone crash. That's not good.
But when Kyle Busch becomes the 4th driver at Trackhouse in the Honda in 2026, it's going to be insane.
I thought he was going to go to Spire.
No.
You don't think he's going to be Chase Elliott's teammate?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Everyone check out, I forget what Noah's design name
Type
is.
1 Designs.
Name is. Type 1 Designs. Everyone go check out Type 1 Designs on Twitter. There's a really cool little call out to the show on there.
I saw him post that, and I'm like, wait a minute. Did you listen to the show this week? And then friend of the show and fellow track and turf person now, Steve Merzlak's like, what do you think he did, you idiot? And I'm like, I'm your boss. Don't talk to me that way.
It's like we all did the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the screen.
Fake racer.
I didn't notice it.
He tagged.
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it. Okay, I don't notice these things.
Which helped revitalize that damn Chevy Bel Air tweet and made that go viral a little bit too. So, which is just ridiculous.
Follow at Fake Racers on Twitter. Follow Track and Turf on Twitter.
Good content. Took a little break this weekend because I didn't have any good ideas left, but
Davey's been going at it.
We're getting there. It's been a slog, but we're seeing some results here and there.
We're turning left and right this weekend.
Coda.
Yep.
Which means I'm staying away from stock cars on iRacing all week.
Heck yeah. What was that? What was that with your wrist? What was that?
This?
Yeah.
Just shake it off, Taylor Swift.
It looked like you were doing the dip can thing, where you pack it. That's what I thought.
Davey,
you were doing.
are you a Zinner? Got a little lip pillow in there. We don't condone.
Imagine how gross it would be if I dipped and then just showed you guys my dip spit can. I've heard so many horror stories about actually, Matt, you may have heard this one because you kind of follow Rooster Teeth stuff a little bit, but Bernie from Rooster Teeth, formerly Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
He wouldn't drink soda can if he left it anywhere unattended for any amount of time because of one time in college, he drank out of what he thought was his soda can and it was someone's dip can.
Oh,
and so now he'll leave he would leave quarter full Coke cans lying around because he just doesn't want to do it, doesn't want to deal with it. Which is gross, by the way. I don't blame him. It's disgusting. Rest in peace, Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
We're gonna turn left and right this weekend in the state of Texas. I believe we got some special entrants this week, right?
Come away.
I have the entry list pulled up. Hang on.
Come away.
Moe's in. Jimmy Johnson's racing.
Come away.
Let's see. We got
Jimmy was racing
Allmendinger in the 13 Colleague car. We got Van Gizzy in the 16. We've got Kobayashi.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I figured it would be the Project 91 car. Kobayashi's in the number 50 for 2311, and is there anybody
66.
and Timmy Hill's
Is
listed.
Jimmy not racing this weekend?
No, he's not.
No.
I thought he was. Why did I think he was? He's racing Texas. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Timmy
He
Hill
learned his
driving the
lesson.
66 or is somebody else driving it?
No, I thought it was Timmy Hill.
Yeah, it's Timmy Hill. It's got Timmy Hill on there.
Yeah, okay.
Timmy Hill.
I thought I saw somebody
first-
else's name on there, but yeah. Okay.
First time they're entering a race since the 2022 Daytona 500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go MBM. I can't wait for them to bring the original Mustang to the track. It's going to be great.
I love
Or they'll bring a
Carl
Camaro. What are they on the entry list? Are they a Ford on the entry list or a Chevy?
Their Twitter says a Ford, so
Okay.
yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, it says Ford on the entry list too.
Interesting.
I love
I
Carl.
would laugh. I would laugh if they showed up with the old Mustang and they're like, it's still legal.
Yeah. Oh, please do it. We need more of that.
I miss when. Do you remember when the Xfinity series, when they switched over to Camaro for a long time, they still let them run Impalas
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
for a little bit?
JGL just
yeah.
ran Challengers for 3 years.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Challenger got to run through I think 2015. I think
Longer than that. Well, I was
So
going to
after
say,
the
Carl Long
Challenger-
kept running it after that, too, so.
thought it was 3 years after, and then they're like, "Hey, Dodge, no more of that."
Carl, MBM Motorsports' second most recent post is MBM's first Phoenix Raceway lead lap finish came at this event 7 years ago in 2017 when Timmy Hill wrestled our number 40 Challenger to P26.
2017.
Yeah.
Man.
Dodge,
Carl
please
Long.
come back. It's new road course package this weekend too, so an extended practice on Friday, I believe. All 3 series are down there as well, so first road course
Yep.
race of the year for everyone.
That'd be pretty cool.
I know we don't normally do previews, but figured this one's a little different. Do we have any thoughts going into this weekend? How much stock do we put into it?
As far as the road course package, we put probably, I mean,
because COTA, I feel like it's a pretty like
go ahead.
Good gauge for the road course. You know what I mean? Like it's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't disagree. But I think I think when you look at road courses as a whole, you're more likely to get something out of the road course, like the first road course of the season, than you are like looking at Las Vegas, then Phoenix, and like this is probably the one track where we'll actually kind of get a good look at future tracks like it.
Yeah.
As far as like the finishing order, who's fast, who's not, sort of thing. Because I don't really expect. I don't expect, even with the tire thing that we talked about, I don't expect a return trip to Bristol to be anything like this past weekend. And then same with Phoenix. We've seen that multiple times where the first Phoenix race of the year doesn't look anything like the second Phoenix race of the year.
Yeah, because the championship 4 are all cheated up.
I didn't say it.
I did.
As you should, King.
Yeah, Matt, do you got any other thoughts?
Nothing comes to mind other than I just realized that Steve Addington is the crew chief of the 29. How the mighty have fallen.
The 29?
I hope
for RSS, sorry, in Xfinity.
Oh,
For Blaine Perkins.
hopefully Parker doesn't break in the Xfinity race again while having top 3 speed.
that would be preferable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully the Cup race isn't just like barrel into turn 1, wreck a bunch of shit. Throw a yellow.
Don't forget stage
bring it back.
cautions are back too.
That's right. That's right.
Gross.
Here they are.
Listen, I'm okay with it, but I honestly think they should have done the reverse. I agree with Joseph Weaver on this. They should take the stage cautions away at ovals and leave them at road courses.
Kyle Larson's running the Xfinity race. John Hunter, Ty Gibbs. Let's see.
Who is Austin Green?
That's Ryan Green's brothers, sisters, mothers.
Who is Ryan Green?
There's a lot of unknowns here.
Yeah.
I guess Jordan Anderson's just fielding 3 cars for every race this year.
Oh yeah. Oh, Connor Zillich. How do you say his name? He's
Zillich.
running. He's running the 7 this weekend.
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
Spire. Yeah.
In the trucks.
Yeah.
He's got Brian Patty as his crew chief. Nice.
Wow. Ty Dillon's running in the
That
truck
kid's on
series,
fire.
believe it or not. Ross Chastain's
Still.
running for Nice this week. So pick Ross to win there, I guess.
Jack Hawksworth running the 1 for Tricon.
Yes.
Marcos
So
and
it's-
Corey Roper's 04.
All I'm saying is, first road course race of the year, there's no Project 91 team this year, so that sucks. But,
Wait, hang on.
you know,
Everybody's got road ringers for all of their cars, and then Young's Motorsports has Dale Quarterly in the 12 truck.
I know, I saw that.
What the hell? That is awesome.
They're probably just like, hey, we got this road course
Awesome.
that we threw together with duct tape. It's pretty cheap.
I just realized Dale Quarterly's ARCA team that he used to own is Quarterly Racing, but it's stylized like 1/4 LEY Racing. That rules.
And with that,
Oh my god.
let's head to, drumroll please, bottom split moment of the week. Davey.
Joe, what's your bottom split moment?
Nope,
I beat
got
you.
you first.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. Matthew, break the tie. My bottom split moment of the week is oh man, there's so many good ones. I'm sorry, it's Kyle Larson. I can't get over that. Like the whole let's red flag the race. Let's do this. Let's do all that. Joey Logano, Paul Wolf, his crew chief. Another honorable mention there, talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna use this old set of tires first, and because they might be bad because they're from like a year ago or something, and then nobody even knows if Goodyear those were actually the tires from the fall or if they were new tires or not. So Really, moral of the story: nobody knows.
I've actually
Bottom
got
split moment of the week.
I've actually got a sound clip from Kyle Larson mid-race. I think it was something like this.
Bro, please, bro. Why are you doing?
Yeah, okay.
Specifically the last part.
Bro, please.
Davey.
My bottom split moment of the week is I started bringing attention to how Martin Truex Jr. hadn't got a top 5 since last August, and then he got a top 5.
To be fair,
Finish.
he got taken to school by Denny Hamlin on that last run. That was
Because Martin Truex
so
Jr.
bad.
race people.
Especially when he got the lead and then immediately lost it 2 corners later. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like,
Listen. I may be wrong about a lot of things. I'm not wrong about that.
that was bad. My bottom split moment of actually the last 2 weeks is Hayden Deegan in Supercross, because he has been on a trip the last 2 weeks. So, if you've ever thought Haley Deegan is obnoxious, her little brother is even more obnoxious. Which is,
Yeah.
yeah. Which, to Haley's credit, she's been pretty quiet the last 2 years. But so last week,
When you're running 50th.
yeah. Wait, where did she finish oh wait, no, she didn't race this week. That's right. Xfinity wasn't racing. So, last week, in heat number 1, Hayden Deegan went from on the start from the very outside all the way to the inside and cleaned himself out off of Seth Hamaker's front tire.
That's awesome.
Tangled up their bikes and everything. And then when they finally got their, like, while the track crew is trying to untangle their bikes, Hayden's like yelling at Hamaker for something that was his fault, and then he throws Hamaker's bike down, and they both have to go to the LCQ. This is like 10 minutes later. He follows Hamaker back to the Kawasaki pit and is sitting there yelling at all the Kawasaki guys, again, for something that was Hayden Deegan's fault. And it wasn't until Hamaker's mom told him to go back to his own truck that he finally left. They both make it through the LCQ, and then in the main, yeah, Seth Hamaker's mom was like, "You need to get the hell out of here."
How old are these guys?
Hayden Deegan's like 18 at most, so.
Oh, man. Okay. Sorry, continue.
Main event, Hayden gets another terrible start and then just like gets pushed off track and just skips an entire straightaway and gets penalized 2 spots and is coming from dead last. And in the final corner, just straight up T-bones Cody Schock for P7 and breaks Cody Schock's collarbone. And then the funny part is because Cody Schock's built different, which is also going to be my Road to Pro moment. He picks up his bike and finishes 9th, but because Hayden got penalized 2 spots, Cody still finished ahead of him, which was funny. And then this week,
God, there's more.
this week was a triple crown.
What is he doing?
Hayden goes P2 to Cameron McAdoo in race 1, and then beats Cameron McAdoo in race 2, so they go into the third race tied on points. And it's like, oh man, Hayden Deegan, he can win this race, and he can put it all behind him. And he runs, I'm not exaggerating, straight into the end of a tough block on the inside line in the first corner, flies over his handlebars, takes out the whole field. Race over immediately. And everybody keeps hyping him up like, he's the greatest thing we've ever seen. I'm like, he just literally ran full speed into a tough block, like, with his front tire. It was insane. So... that's my bottom split moment. So,
Who was I speaking to when I was? I think it was on the podcast last week or something. I forget.
oh, when
No,
you guys
it
were
was
talking
a
about the
couple weeks
monster girl. Oh, I'm so mad I wasn't there to talk about that.
That's why I had to say it. Like, I was like, oh, man, this would be it. But
Should I talk about that for
Go
a
ahead.
second?
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so
Do it. Absolutely.
That's your Road to
I-
Pro moment, though.
we need this
It's the
content.
monster girl.
yeah, we'll alley-oop this into my Road to Pro moment in a second. So yeah, what happened for those who didn't see it? When the 450 main event came back around, the girl who holds the 30-second board was standing in the middle of the track and was that close to getting mowed down by Cooper Webb going literally full speed. Super lucky she didn't get hurt. Super lucky Cooper didn't pile it up trying to miss her. And what she said after the race was that the 450s are so fast that she didn't have time to get off track. And everybody's like, that doesn't make any sense because that was the 8th race of the night. And everybody else had no problems. And this is, I want to make clear, I'm not using this moment to like shit on this girl. Like, this is why these girls shouldn't be on the track. No, because the track crews screw stuff up all the time. Like, this is far from the only time somebody on the track crew didn't do their job properly. I think what happened is, because the procedure, she holds the 30-second board up, and when 30 seconds is over, she turns it sideways, and then she walks off the track. And I think she walked off to the wrong side and realized that she was stranded on an island in the middle of the track and tried to get back across the start straight, and that's when the field was on her. So I don't think she was lying when she said the 450s are so fast I didn't have time. I think she just left out the part that I was on the wrong side of the racetrack and I panicked.
Yeah.
So just thankfully she didn't get hurt. So
Once again, like motocross, like that discipline of racing is on like a Group B style trajectory. Like fans are running out into the course, people are almost getting run over, like crazy stuff's happening, people are getting hurt, and like it's just Group B reincarnated.
Cameron McAdoo's wardrobe malfunction after a literal like 14 bike pileup in the first corner, and then he raced an entire race just hanging dong. Yeah. It's been an extremely weird season of Supercross. There's been maybe 2 normal races all year.
It's just rules.
Yeah.
It's on that Group B trajectory, man. It's just going to explode out of nowhere, and then something awful's going to happen. It's going to change.
Pretty much.
I love it.
All of that was bottom split of the week. So
Had to catch up.
Yeah. Yep.
It was good content.
So your road to pro moment.
Okay, so road to pro moment. Cody Schock, I think I've shown you guys the clip. He was the guy last year that whiskey throttled off his bike and ran, I'm not exaggerating, head on, full speed into the side of the tunnel jump, and then was just totally fine, and then they fixed his bike and he went out and won the LCQ. So, Cody Schock's built different because he got signed to like the secondary Yamaha team this year and has been riding great, and we didn't know this until last week that he's been riding with a fractured collarbone this whole time. And when Hayden Deegan punted him last week, he fully broke his collarbone. Most people, when they break their collarbone, like I've seen people who've broken their collarbones before, and they want to die. Cody picked up his like $200 or 200-pound motorcycle and finished the race, like the last 100 feet. And then everybody was talking about that, like there was rumors going around that he broke his collarbone, but he was just still at the track 2 hours later doing all the media stuff. And then like apparently got x-rayed that night and then was like, damn, that's crazy. And then Jason Thomas, one of the reporters, saw him with his broken collarbone getting off the plane at the airport in LA the next day wearing a backpack, which if you have a broken collarbone, that's something that you can't do. And then he got surgery on his collarbone that night and was posting videos of him doing push-ups immediately afterwards, and then raced this week and finished 5th. For reference, Justin Barsha broke his collarbone last year and was knocked out of commission for 4 months. Cody Schock broke his collarbone and raced 6 days later and scored a top 5.
How many steroids or painkillers do you think that dude's on? Like, I'm sorry.
He was saying he all he did was took like some ibuprofen. Was like all he said he took.
That's cap.
I think he's just built different, honestly.
Dude, that's
Cody Schock is not human. So
the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. There's a grown ass man.
Wow.
Lord.
So that's my road to pro moment.
Jeez. Okay, now I need a road to pro moment.
Do you need time?
No. Yeah, I do. No, I don't.
Okay, so now that I'm offering to go before you, you don't want me to.
No, I want you to wait.
So let's just be a note to people out there. Davey just doesn't want me to have what I want.
Yeah. What if we brought all the progress to the show to a complete halt?
Real quick, quick little note. Davey, we're going to Indy this year, right?
We are.
I'm gonna meet Davey in Indy with his lovely lady, and the response I got after I sent the picture that I bought my ticket was, "Wow,
really?"
to which I think I told you last week. What, did you think I'm a liar? Because it's always been, if you come up here, I'll go. If you come up here, I'll go. And I did. So.
Yeah, well, but now you owe me. So.
Oh, you what?
It's like, come down here.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Anyway, my road to pro moment was I got a pretty nice haircut. Doesn't look like right now because I have the headset on, but it's cool. Good, nice little haircut. It was nice to get all the mop off my head. Good lord.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't wear your
That's still
headband this
going
week.
strong.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't relate. So
Yeah.
it's getting pretty long. I ran into a couple of people, like friends of mine from high school, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't recognize you with your hair that long." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's literally longer than my mom's right now." So
Damn.
My road rash looked gnarly.
Yeah, I saw a bit of it. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's
it's mostly healed now. So it was going all
Big
the way
old
up to here.
scab.
Yeah,
Yum. Don't
my
pick
knee's
at
all
it.
bruised still too. I think it's just itchy. Wait, hang on.
yeah,
My knees all
grody. Ooh,
Bruised.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yummy.
Yeah, you can kind of see
I gotta
it.
turn this way.
The
hang
back
on.
of your noggin all scraped too. Oh yeah.
There we go. No,
Show me,
so okay.
Show me that knee.
So the crazy thing, I know I didn't hit my head very hard because just the tip of my visor is scratched.
Mhm.
So, and it's like a matte black helmet, so that shit scratches super easily. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck.
so.
All right. Cool.
What's your road to pro moment, Joe?
Ah, darn. Thought I was gonna get away with it.
Idiot.
Wow.
My God, just say something dumb.
Joe came
Just
prepared.
Move on.
I have a bunch of road to pro moments this week actually. So
Oh, I bet you do.
let me start. My road to pro moment
There's
from
so
Friday was I went to one of those revolving sushi bars. Like my boss took us out because I'm gonna be going to Japan at some point this year, and so I won't be on an episode of this show. But I ate sushi, so I'm cultured now apparently.
It's always fun.
My road to pro
Is that your
moment. Was- yeah.
Was that
yeah,
the first time you've ever had sushi?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke like, you got to learn how to use chopsticks, Joe, but that's probably what
No,
actually
I can
happened.
use chopsticks. It's not that
Oh,
hard.
okay. Okay.
Do people like? Is that difficult?
My dad can't do it still.
It's
So
just like I'm not good
My-
at it, but like
my
I can-
dad's
I
the
can make it
guy-
work.
my dad is the guy at the sushi restaurant who has to ask for a fork every time we go out.
Oh yeah. No.
I can do it. It's just not very fun, and I'm not very good at it. And like if I'm, I usually just kind of go ahead and just go for the fork. It's just save my own frustration.
I got really good at it for a while, and then I didn't get sushi for like a year, and now I've just like I'm terrible at it again.
So- The thing is, like like sushi rolls, right? Like
yeah,
that's not like I guess sushi in Japan's more like sashimi, where it's just like the fish on rice, right?
yeah.
So I got more of that than anything. I didn't really do any sushi rolls. So, then for Saturday, my road to pro moment was the Michigan Wolverines beating the Minnesota Golden Gophers to advance to the Big Ten championship in ice hockey.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
And then my road to pro moment today, because I just saw it. The Lions signed Kevin Zeitler from the Ravens. I hope I'm saying his name right. He's offensive guard. And someone posted a video of him while his wife is in labor. He is doing drills, pass blocking, like in the hospital. So that is a culture fit. Again, Detroit Lions fans, Noah Joyce probably out there listening. Rise up. That's grit, man. That's
That
grit.
is a real football guy.
Wife's in
if I've
labor.
ever heard of
That's
one.
culture fit right there.
Sorry, babe.
Sorry, babe.
The off season
I gotta get a
doesn't
couple
rest.
reps in real quick. While I'm waiting. Gotta stay in true form. But yeah, road
my
pro
God.
moments for the week. I came prepared. Pew pew. Folks,
That's awesome.
can't thank you enough for watching, for listening, however you support us here on the Fake Racers podcast. As always, want to remind you, if you haven't already, click the like button on the video, like the podcast, hit subscribe, do all those things, help support us. We appreciate you so much. Davey, where can they find more from you?
Twitch D7H5 or ER at the end. We're doing the Sebring 12 hour this weekend. Make sure you tune in.
No USORL Cup Series race this weekend. Is that correct?
No US World Cup Series race this weekend right after.
Okay, alright. Fun.
Long day for me on Saturday.
Davey's gonna kick some butt. Matthew, M Steelman 51 on Twitter.
Yep.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't have anything else to plug. I don't do social media very much. We do this every week.
I do appreciate that you always think about it, though.
You're always like, do I have anything this week?
I can't remember.
I guess not.
Well, I mean, 2 weeks ago I plugged, Chris
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Michael's GoFundMe's.
That's right.
So,
True.
but yeah.
They were doing a good job raising funds too. I think last time.
Yeah, I was just checking. Chris is at 1,300, and I think he just confirmed he is in fact going.
Good.
That's awesome.
I don't know about Michael's though. Michael did shoot me a message. It was like, "Hey, thanks, man," and then I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And then I did not tell either of them that I plugged their GoFundMe's on here, but so yeah. Anyway, that's still up there. Get my boys to there.
There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Fake Racers podcast for this week. As always, folks, can't thank you enough for supporting. Again, check out Track and Turf Media, Track and Turf on YouTube. I'll probably put the media on there because it feels weird to say Track and Turf still. But also, first race, Maverick Cup Series, is Tuesday, March 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Joe Toad Network, JTN on YouTube. And yeah, follow us on all social medias. We got those linked in the YouTube description down below. Get your Fake Racers podcast merch from the merch store. I think it's still up. Spring sent me an email. Apparently, they were taking listings down because whatever. So if you didn't get your merch, I guess you're not getting it. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time right here on the Fake Racers podcast.
Bye.
Bye.